Welcome to this Prosper Beyond Brexit brief BrexChat with the Managing Director of the UK business of financial app Amaze. He's just released a new report on the readiness of SMEs for Brexit. Welcome, Steve Taklalsingh.
Oh, thank you for having me, Malcolm. It's a pleasure to be here.
Excellent, Steve. Now, before we discuss your report, please tell us what Amaze is, what it does, and who it does it for.
Okay, thank you, Malcolm. Amaze is a financial app that combines banking-like services, banking-like transactions with accountancy software so that small businesses can manage their receipts, payments, and cash flow.
Excellent. Now, as you and I record this, we're still awaiting a deal or no deal outcome. Hey, what's new? Can you give us an overview of the 3 or 4 key findings of what's a very extensive report you've produced?
Well, I'd love to have said that we would be analyzing a deal right now as we speak, but as we all know, the current situation is really negotiations are still ongoing until Sunday. What we've done recently is conduct a pretty in-depth survey of SMEs and micro businesses. What we found, particularly in relation to Brexit, is that 49% of our businesses feel that they are ready for Brexit. They've looked at the regulations, they've made the adjustment to their businesses, they feel they are ready. However, 17% of the business, roughly 20%, say they feel that they're not ready or haven't made the appropriate changes to their businesses or even understood the impact on their potential businesses. What we know is that there are new regulations to deal with. There are likely to be increased costs, and there would be interruptions to the supply chain. These are things that I'd say quite a lot of businesses haven't fully understood or appreciated the effect it potentially have on them. 25% believe that there are no effect on their businesses whatsoever. And this is where sometimes I think potentially some small businesses may get caught out a bit in the short run.
Yeah, we'll expand that a little bit further as we go through our questions. But I wanted to just ask you, as they say, the devil is in the detail. What do you think are the key unknowns of the impact on SMEs of Brexit, deal or no deal? It's those unknowns, isn't it?
I think one of the biggest unknowns affecting this entire Brexit deal, withdrawal agreement, year of transition. It's hardly a withdrawal agreement when this much negotiation is still going on at this late stage. And one of the biggest unknowns is what we refer to as passporting. And what is passporting? Passporting allows UK financial services businesses like banks, EMIs, payments institutions to service European clients by being regulated by the FCA. As of now, as we speak, the UK regulator has allowed the European businesses to continue doing businesses in London. That has not been reciprocated across Europe, so there's no equivalency. So what that means is that UK businesses can no longer serve their European clients as at midnight 31st December 2020.
Okay, let's delve a bit further into what you've been chatting about. Your survey found that a quarter of SMEs believe that Brexit won't affect them at all. Do you think those SMEs are being really realistic or just not aware of realizing of the impact, such as supply chains and costs?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I think some businesses would be caught out. Whatever happens, there's only so much people can do at this point in time, given the current circumstances or distraction with COVID, to understand the new regulations and the entire impact along the supply chain. Our survey shows 49% of the businesses don't recruit employees or staff outside of the UK. So they're not too concerned about the lack of European talent being available in the UK. Whether that impacts their business's supply chain in terms of service providers is a bit of an unknown. And that's where some hiccups would come along, because you might say you're buying from a UK supplier, but that UK supplier may be reliant on overseas recruitment. We've also seen that roughly 30% of the businesses we've interviewed don't trade or buy or sell to European clients. They say they buy only locally, they trade only locally. Again, there are implications around the economic value chain that their clients may be affected, so that will have an onward impact, domino effect on their businesses as well. So all of these are a little bit unknowns, but it will only come out in a live environment in the Q1 next year.
And I think that's the frightening bit, by the way, Steve, in my mind, with the businesses I've been dealing with, exploring them, pointing them further and further down, things like contracts and changes like that, translation. A lot of those things, well, it doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does. Now, another thing from your survey astounded me in that only 17% of those surveyed say they failed to prepare. That goes against British Chambers of Commerce surveys, who say that around a third have not made any preparation. Why the difference? Do you think it's because SMEs haven't yet grasped the depth of the problem and think that reading a government leaflet or getting EOI registration is all that's needed?
No, I don't think so, Malcolm. I think, first of all, I think the survey you're referring to, it's a Chamber of Commerce survey that was done back in July. And that was where probably 6 or 7% of their participants weren't SMEs. We did our survey in November, and 100% of our population sample were SMEs or micro businesses.
Right.
The difference in timing between July and November, as well as the difference in the type of businesses surveyed, accounts for the difference. I think the drop as well would be accounted for that it's later and closer to the deadline, and as we know with tax deadlines or any deadlines, there's always a larger push closer to the deadlines. So businesses have started understanding more or researching more to understand the impact on their own businesses. And to be honest, the government websites have also improved quite a lot over the last 6 months, providing more advice and walking you through typical issues as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. You say that financial services would be one of the hardest hit by Brexit, but this sector is one of our biggest invisible earners. What should the UK be doing to protect it?
I have a personal pet peeve with that issue in particular, because it has affected us in particularly quite a bad way. There's it's been 5 years since the referendum, 4 years to agree on a withdrawal agreement, 1 year of transition, and we're still here. And passporting is still one of the biggest issues. It accounts for 12% of our GDP, and yet there's still an unknown factor to what really happens. The regulator would say, assume there's no passporting, and again, to highlight, that means your UK regulated businesses won't be able to serve their European clients. What can be done about that? Businesses that have extensive European client base have had to do a couple of things. They've actually duplicated their authorizations, looking at second country authorization, duplicating their regulatory and technology infrastructure, in effect building two businesses. Ultimately, only larger businesses can maintain that sort of overhead. What we've seen is medium to small businesses have gone down that route of doing a second country authorization as a backup, but because of the lack of reciprocity or equivalence in terms of the authorization, they've actually moved their businesses to European entities and are actually sacrificing their UK authorization, because they can still serve UK clients with a Spanish or Dutch regulatory authorization. It's quite a lot to the UK economy as a whole. It's quite a challenge that these issues haven't been addressed sooner.
Yeah, I don't think many of us have truly appreciated the value of financial services. Last question, Steve. In your personal opinion, Brexit, problem or opportunity for SMEs? And how does Amaze aim to help them either way?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
businesses have to adapt. With COVID, with Brexit, businesses have to adapt and look at opportunities and look at embracing the challenges. They have to pivot. I'd say the main aspect in a post-Brexit world, change is going to happen. There's no sense in mourning the loss of what was or how businesses used to be done. I think for us, what we'd say is, particularly with the loss of passporting, you'd wouldn't have been able to take the market opportunities that came up within the last year, and you're treading water now. We've put alternative practices in place so that we can hit 2021 on the ground running. So we'd certainly say embrace these challenges, adapt, look for opportunities. As far as the base is concerned, we're here to make SMEs' lives easier. We want to help them manage their business by being able to measure it. They can embrace their technology. They can integrate their accountancy with a few swipes on their smartphone. So I'd say certainly embrace technology going into the new year. See how it can help your business, and certainly don't be shy or pessimistic about going into the new year.
Excellent, Steve.
We also, I was just going to mention quickly there, we also have a series of podcasts. So, the government is advising businesses to close on Boxing Day as we speak, and not encourage people to gather or not go out. So use the opportunity to listen to some of our podcasts, which again is available on our website. And there are a lot of good advice there where we've actually interviewed small businesses, and it gives you direct perspective of how some businesses have started adapting and approaching the unique challenges. So how I'd like to close in terms of our final words, I'd say, if you're still trading at the end of 2020, you're having problems, but you're surviving. So congratulations, well done. I think I'm very proud of you guys. And we're facing all of these challenges together as small businesses. Give yourself a pat on your back. And I think what we've done so far is incredible. Look forward positively to 2021.
Brilliant. And I'll just remind again, Steve, everybody and the listeners of your URL, which is on the screen behind me, but it's AMAIZ, amaze.com, to go and listen to those podcasts. Steve Taklalsingh, I've thoroughly enjoyed meeting you. I'll see you again in 2021.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me, Michael. It was a great sharing some thoughts here with you.